Okay.
Alright. So Drive app's not loading.
Are we live?
Yes.
Okie dokie.
Alright, you got the notes up?
I got the notes up. Okay. You can go ahead and start since the first one's yours.
Alright, so welcome back everyone to the Hitchhikers podcast now.
Hello, we chose a name.
Yes. Hopefully we can have show notes available afterwards that are public so anybody can see. So anything we talk about, a list or clickable links you can look at. That was totally bad English.
That's my job.
Yeah, it is. Hopefully I can get a better webcam at some point and maybe faster internet. As I can see, I'm probably a big blob. Let's see. So, first up, as we went over in the preview episode, we're going to go over different sections like technology, news, entertainment. I added an app section, and then we have the back burner, which is stuff that we've been using in the past. It could be devices, just stuff that's been out for a while. So we'll start with technology. First up is I've actually started using Audible for the first time. I listen to a lot of the Twit network with Leo Laporte. So they had an advertisement. You can get 2 free books, basically 2 free credits if you enter in their code. So I did, and there was a Halo book I bought back in January, which I basically haven't touched since then. And I decided that it might be a good time to, I don't know, listen to the book versus read, because I don't have any time to actually sit down and read a book. Otherwise, it's late at night and I just fall straight asleep. So I've been having a good time listening to the book. And one thing I found with audiobooks, it's a little distracting. If you're doing anything else, like you need to read something else while listening to it, you completely miss whatever's happening, and then it's even harder to actually back up.
I had the exact opposite thing happen for me. I got a free audiobook. I just signed up and I got a free one, and it was World War Z, I believe. And what I ended up doing is at work I listen to music a lot while I'm working, and I always have headphones on, so I started playing that. And while I'm playing that, I'm doing my work, so I'm listening to my audiobook and doing my work, and I actually liked it because I probably have ADD. I'm not diagnosed with it, but it wouldn't surprise me if I had it. And when I do multiple things at the same time, that's when I can actually function as a person. I need to do something while I'm doing something else for it to work. So I actually had the opposite thing happen for me, where I could focus on what I'm doing and also listen to the book and enjoy it. Which I have one thing to say about audiobooks. Depending on who reads it, I prefer it to actual books. I have listened to 4 audiobooks. 2 of them I have loved, 2 of them I have hated. The 2 that I liked were World War Z. I loved it because the whole book is basically interviews with people, and they had a different actor playing each part. So it's not the same person reading the book. They had 20-something people reading that book. One of them was Martin Scorsese. It was very famous people reading the book. And then the other one I liked was George Collins' book. It was basically a stand-up material. And the 2 that I hated were both Stephen Crap. The guy who wrote The Shining.
Stephen King.
Stephen King, thank you. he is boring when he reads. Oh my God, monotone, and I was falling asleep listening to his books. So I've had a 50-50 kind of a. I have a 50-50 review for audiobooks.
The guy was pretty good for this audiobook, but it's kind of weird because he's playing women, he's doing Australian accents, he's doing British accents.
Is he doing girl voices?
Yeah, and he just heightens the pitch.
Oh.
I'm not even gonna try to make it sound however he sounds. So.
Gotta have good actors doing it.
Yeah, but yeah, Audible's good. My only complaint right now, since everything I do uses Chromecast these days. If I wake up, I'm using Chromecast. If I'm eating, I'm using Chromecast. If I'm about to go to sleep, I'm using Chromecast. Audible does not support Chromecast. So once I get that, that'll be perfect because I can stream all my podcasts, my music, my movies, YouTube, anything I want through Chromecast, and that's the one app I use that doesn't take advantage of it.
I don't know if I want a Chromecast. I'm running out of HDMI inputs. I have an Apple. I know. I have Apple TV, Roku, Xbox. I'm running out of HDMI inputs. I can watch literally everything I want on either one of those devices. I don't need to add a fourth one.
And yeah, it's up to your preference. For me, the Chromecast, once they added, I use an app called Plex to play all my movies from another laptop. Yeah. Once they added that, it basically made my Roku obsolete. So I have 2 Xboxes, 2 Chromecasts, a Roku, and plenty of other stuff.
Make sure while we're doing this to keep your eye on people who are commenting, if there are any, because I can't see them.
Hit the Q&A button on the left.
Okay.
Next up, I was actually, what just happened there?
Am I gone?
You'll go after the next one. No, go now.
Wait, hold on. I don't see my... Oh, here we go. Okay. What do you want to talk about? The charger?
Yeah.
Okay. So recently, my MacBook charger, both my wife and I have MacBooks. She has a 15-inch MacBook, and I have a 17-inch MacBook, which I'm using right now. It's the second time that the charger for my MacBook has broken. Not the actual power brick, but the cable. I have my wife's right here, which I'm using right now. Which it's always this part right here that fails, because it's not a good design. It's very rigid, and when you move it a lot, it ends up destroying the cable inside, and the cable comes off, but this sleeve stays on. So me being cheap and having the motto of if you can't fix it, if you can fix it, fix it. If not, replace it. I bought this cable from China for $3. I know the manufacturer, I just know they're from China. Same thing, it's a little cheaper, but same exact thing. And I opened up my charger, and I remembered Apple does not want you to go in their hardware. They don't like. There was a case on it. This case. This whole thing was together. It was glued. I had to literally rip it open, and then I want to get it in a good angle. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh.
The whole inside is wrapped in a copper type foil, where there's a tape here. You open the tape, and then when you open the foil, look, more foil. So you open that foil, which was glued to it. And I glued it back because I already fixed it, but it's impossible to easily open this charger, and it kind of annoys me because I know how much Apple doesn't want you to open their products, But for people who just don't want to replace the part, they just want to fix it, it's just such a big hassle. And I just don't, as much as I love Apple engineering, I just don't like the way they just, it's like a sealed lock. You're not, and there's tape after tape of reminders. Hey, don't rip this tape open. Don't open the charger. And then one of them says warranty will no more warranty once you open it, which I didn't have it anymore. My laptop's like 2 years old, 3 years old.
All right, so
that was my talk about the charger. I'll let you know if I fixed it all the way. I haven't closed it yet and plug it in, but I'll let you know if I fixed it.
All right, so we do have a Q&A question, as you might have seen pop up.
Mm-hmm.
So that question is directed towards you.
So is it simply for a lack of HDMI ports that you dislike Chromecast? Not really. It's just the fact that I can do every single thing I need to do on one device, and that's Apple TV. Since I have all Apple hardware, I have an iPhone, I have a MacBook, I have an iPad. So everything I need to do, I can just do on Apple TV. The only reason I have a what's the other thing I have? Roku. Is because my mom wanted it because she wanted to watch Persian TV, and that's how we ended up figuring out how to do it. And I just have Xbox for gaming. So technically, all I need is an Apple TV. I was kind of joking around about the HDMI ports, but I am running out of them.
All right, so next up, the Moto E, which Motorola just announced officially 4 a.m. this morning, Eastern time. It was the afternoon for them, I think. So they already came out. First, they came out with the Moto X, which is a really good phone. A lot of tech sites all around the internet claimed it was the best overall phone. I had it for a while. I loved it. I love the size. It wasn't too big. You can actually use it one-handed like an iPhone versus all the other huge phones these days. And that was great. And then they came out with the Moto G, which was a really good prepaid phone. Still had the most basic UI for Android. Basically nothing added to it, and it was available worldwide. And actually, Motorola said that the Moto G, which you can get off contract for $179, it was actually their most profitable. I wouldn't say most profitable, but their most sold phone for all time, I believe, for Motorola. So that was pretty impressive because over the past few years, Motorola hasn't really gotten a foothold in any one carrier other than Verizon. All the other phones on their carriers, AT&T, were pretty bad, and they didn't really have a global footstep. So Moto G was available worldwide, which is really good. And now they come out with the Moto E, which is quote-unquote made to last, priced for all. So you can get that for $129, I believe. Even lower specs, but still, I read on The Verge, it's still a really good performing phone. It's only 3G, has 5-megapixel camera, and still comes with the latest version of Android, which none of the other prepaid phones are doing. So if you need a phone for grandma that she wants a smartphone but doesn't want to pay $100 per month, get her on Straight Talk, get the Moto E, you're good. And
I don't know if their marketing department is trying to market it to grandmas who don't want to spend too much.
yeah, it's more towards hipsters, but what can you do?
Hipsters.
It's a hipster world.
Can you never say that again? Can those words never come out of your mouth again?
It's a hipster's paradise.
I hate
it. In all our lives.
Okay.
All right. So what do you got next?
Smart home technology. That's both you, Sarah, well, not both, but you, Sarah, and everyone that knows me well knows that I get obsessed with things, and I keep Googling it, and then I end up buying it. And but at the moment, the thing that I'm obsessed with is smart home technology devices. I have three examples here that I'm very, very interested in. Before I start that, I want to tell a story of how I came about Googling stuff like this. I got married in October. The night of my wedding, our house got broken into. So the next, sorry, yes, the night after my wedding, our house got broken into, and we were actually on our honeymoon. When we got back, a few days later, my brother told me the house got broken into, the window was broken. So I got really scared, and I said, you know, I need to put a lot of things around the house that makes me feel safer. I'm in the process of getting a security system, but I have put a lot of other security devices around the house that has made our house safe. But to make it safer, I Googled and found a bunch of devices that are very useful. One of them is the August Smart Lock. This is just it looks like a aluminum cylinder about an inch high. It comes an inch outside of the door. And what that is, it basically is an electrical, or no, sorry, a lock that uses Wi-Fi and Bluetooth to unlock and lock the door. And it knows when you come close to the house, so it knows your phone, it knows you. If you don't want that, you can set passwords to it. And there's also a key for it that you can use in case it turns off for some reason. Right? But the one thing that I really like about it is you can send people invitations, and they are time sensitive. So you can send an invitation to your babysitter that's good from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. and after that it won't work anymore. And or you can have the plumber come, and if you know the guy who's coming to your house, the plumber will show up, call you, hey, I'm here, and then you can open the door via your phone. And then that made me think of a doorbell. What if I had a doorbell where it would also have a camera on it and would let me know who's at the door, which is how I found Doorbot. It's like I said, it's a doorbell, old doorbell with a camera on it. And once you hit the doorbell, the camera shows up. It's a one-way camera, so they won't see you. You will see them, and then you look at your phone, and then you either accept or let the person know they're not welcome.
So my question about the August lock.
Yeah.
So it's proximity by Bluetooth.
I believe so. I looked at it last week. I have the website right here.
I'm looking at the website, but what if you're just hanging around, or if it's yourself, and you're just hanging around the door? You know, is it going to constantly stay unlocked, or is it going to relock itself?
I believe you need to be very close to it for it to unlock. So basically, like any type of Bluetooth device in your car, where after you walk away from it, it knows you're not there anymore, so it automatically stops using as much juice as before. So I believe this works the same, where you need to get real close to it, get right to the door, and unlock the door, and then you open the door.
Well, that's the thing, because I want it to be instant. I know I use the Roadster too in my car. I can be paired to it by the time I'm inside the house. So my phone doesn't actually know it's disconnected till maybe 20 seconds later. By then, I don't know, somebody's waiting outside your house.
What I saw from the video from the commercial, the moment you walk to the door, you open the door is open for you.
Now that's their advertisement.
I mean, I can buy it and let you know. That's what I hope. I can do. I haven't looked at that. I haven't looked at the price for a while. Oh, it's not. Oh, $199.
Mm.
$200. So there's Doorbot, the August Smart Lock, and there's also Chewy, CHUI apostrophe S. Oh no, that's Chewy Smart Doorbell, but it's just Chewy. And this one is like a watered down version of the Doorbot, from what I believe this can do, and it's a hardwired camera on your door, and basically does the same thing. You ring the doorbell, and then it opens the door. You accept or decline the door, and that's it. So those were the three things I wanted to talk about smart home technology, and I've become a big fan of it. So I'm gonna keep looking to see if I can find anything else before I make a decision and buy some security stuff for the house. More security stuff for the house.
Well, I would definitely invest in other homemade. Think about other homemade solutions as well, because I have, for example, I'm playing around with an IP webcam for Android, and I have, off the top of my head, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra phones sitting around right now.
Wow. You have a problem.
They just appear. So I don't know, if you get like a car mount, and stick it on a window and put the phone there with a charger, you just have an IP cam just running on your network the whole time, and then it can be set up with a port forwarding on your network, on your router, so you can access it from wherever.
Yeah.
And
one thing you can
set it up for motion detection. You can have it record, so if something happens in the room, it'll just start recording sound and video at the same time. Take a picture, even run in the background. So if somebody picks up the phone and it doesn't look like it's recording, but it'll actually be recording the whole time, that it just runs in the background. And same thing for iPhone and Android.
That's good. One thing that did annoy me looking for smart home devices was all the stupid stuff that's out there. I don't know if you've seen this thing where it's a egg holder. It's a little slider with dents in it where you put the eggs, and it'll tell you how many eggs you have in the fridge. So you look at your phone and you're like, oh, I only have 4 eggs. I better buy eggs. I don't know why buying eggs is such an emergency that they need that device, but hey, whatever. Okay.
All right. Well, I believe we'll have links for those in the show notes as well. I just updated it, so if you can
good.
add that. Next up is news. So last week, Netflix officially announced that they'll be increasing the subscription rate for new customers from $7.99 to $8.99. Now, it's not a big jump for $1, but I know a lot of people can jump off ship. You've seen with Amazon Prime happen, going up to $99. But it's still a really useful service. Same with Netflix. You still have access to these thousands and thousands of shows and movies. A lot of them may be boring, but it's always getting better.
Netflix has become, for me, the most nostalgic website ever. Because everything I watch is from at least 5 years ago.
Yeah, I watched Men in Black.
I have watched, like I said, I get obsessed with things and I keep researching it or reading about it or watching it till I make myself sick about it. I don't want to watch it anymore. And I am watching Frasier for the 3rd time this month. So whenever I'm just not doing anything, every time I'm at the gym, I'm watching a Frasier episode. Especially on the phone now. My phone is just, if I'm bored, I'll just watch Netflix on it. And it's usually Frasier and shows like that. Cheers.
I'm really upset though. They've taken a lot of shows off in the past few years.
Yes, yes. I think that's because a lot of other companies are trying to get into the business and are buying all the rights for these other companies that basically rented their shows and movies to Netflix, and now they can't anymore because they have a contract with someone else. So that's what I believe that's what's happening now. Instead of Netflix having a lot of them, now all these different websites have little chunks of them. If you want to watch 24, it's on Amazon. If you want to watch Seinfeld, it's on Crackle, whatever that website is.
Crackle, which is kind of
Crackle.
owned by Sony.
Yeah,
so they kind of have their own stuff there.
Yeah, depending on what you want to watch, you have to be subscribed to a certain website. If you're obsessed with Gordon Ramsay, you have to watch all his shows on Hulu.
Yeah, oh well. So I don't really care at this point. Netflix did say that current subscribers, they will lock in the price for 2 years. So who knows what's going to happen in 2 years. Hulu could actually turn out to be good one day and get rid of their ads. I don't know. I purposely don't use Hulu because of their ads. It's really annoying. And
they've made it shorter. Or at least on the iPhone they've made it shorter. Like mobile devices, they're only 40-something seconds.
I've been spoiled by Netflix. That's what I started using initially. Yeah. I used Hulu a little bit during school, but I didn't watch that much. So
I remember being obsessed with Hulu before Hulu Plus came out, when everything was free.
Yeah.
I remember our friend Nicole used to make fun of me for that. He's like, Hulu!
And then, yeah, you would have access to different seasons and stuff, and now it seems like there's weird stuff with Hulu Plus where you only have access to a little bit, and it looks like they're still victim to some copyright stuff as well, just like Netflix.
Yes, I did read about that.
So, what's also interesting now, moving on, the Xbox is going to be coming out. They're going to be lowering the price to $399, but no Kinect. And I read an article which made a very good point. Is the Xbox One without Kinect is basically just a console. It's a Blu-ray player. Because they wanted to integrate Kinect so much into it that you take away about half of the usefulness of it. So that's going to be coming out on June 9th. I guess it is good because it's a lower barrier to entry, lower price, because I got it at full price for about $500.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have been holding off buying the Xbox. Not a lot of good games. I can think of a total of 2 games I'd want this year, which would be Destiny, Bungie's new game, bless you, and actually a Lord of the Rings game coming out in the fall. Other than that, I have no plans to buy any other games, so I have a box that can play Blu-rays right now. So were you thinking of getting an Xbox at any point?
Huh?
Were you thinking about getting the Xbox One?
Not anytime soon, really. Because I'm happy with what I've got. I have Xbox 360, and most of the games that I like to play are fine on the Xbox 360. They're not even out on the Xbox One, so it's not like something I would want to purchase yet.
I know. All my games are mainly either Halo or I don't know.
Halo or Halo.
Yeah, Halo, basically.
Basically, mine are Assassin's Creed and bunch of kiddie games that I have to have because my niece and nephew love to play them.
Yeah, and Rayman. I don't know.
That I do play. That's a good freaking game. That's a good game. My wife and I play that all. Well, not anymore because her schedule's weird. But before our schedule was basically the night shift, we used to play it all the time.
All right. So kind of backtracking, but my next thing was 24. Finally came back after, I believe, was it 4 years? It's basically a new mini-series. Instead of doing 24 whole episodes that take place over 24 hours, it's going to be 12 episodes, 24 live another day. And coincidentally, right before it came out, they yanked it off of Netflix, so I couldn't binge watch it before this new series came out. So
is it at least on Amazon?
It's on Amazon, but I don't really want to pay for it.
Don't you have Amazon Prime?
I have Shipping Prime. I don't have Amazon Instant.
Oh.
So there's a really good deal, actually. Google Play is having all the seasons half price. They're usually $40, and you can get them for $20 a season for 24 episodes each.
Nice.
So I'm considering maybe like $20 a week. At least I'll have them because it's a really good series. I know you have different feelings about it, but
they just don't like Persians in that show.
There's no Persians.
Name one Persian guy who's not wearing a turban or who's not like, everybody get down, get down.
Oh, we have a new Q&A again from Tom. Let's see. In my opinion, an NFC setup would be much more secure. You could use a unique SIM ID for each system, set allowed ICC IDs. So I believe that's in response to the smart home technology.
Yes.
NFC, I really do like NFC technology. It stands for near field technology. So most smartphones these days actually use it, except for the iPhone. Who knows if Apple will use that? They've been using it overseas with Blackberries for years in Africa. You know, you hear about you can walk up to a soda machine and just tap with your phone and get a soda. I don't know why we don't have that.
I've heard the same in Japan, where things like Google Wallet and all that stuff have been there for at least 8 years or something like that. There was what's his name? I forgot his name from Apple Byte Unseen It was talking about it. He said Japan's been doing this for years now. Why aren't we into the same market?
Yeah, so I can see where you can have a unique SIM for maybe each system. I guess I'm trying to understand, but I would mainly just stick with NFC. Again, whoever you authorize, whichever serial number you authorize, could come into the house or back door. Again, Windows phones have it, BlackBerry has it, Android has it. Waiting on Apple to use NFC.
Mm-hmm.
I go to CVS and McDonald's once in a while, and I just pay with my phone, and people are still amazed. Oh, you can do that with your phone? And
people aren't amazed. They're just like, oh, cool, and you walk out like, hey, see that chick checking out my phone wallet?
Yeah, because I talk just like that.
Yeah, you do. You know it.
Just talk like that, Albert.
Hey, look at my NFC! So, anyway.
Next up, RoboCop. What do you got to say about that?
I watched RoboCop a couple days ago. And very unique choices in directing. One of them was how similar a lot of the things were in this movie to the when did the original one come out? In the 80s, right?
Yeah.
The 80s one. Same theme song. They kept the theme song. The corporation. Huh?
I didn't know it had a theme song.
Has a theme song. I'm not gonna sing it. My voice sucks, but go Google it. That's the same theme song. Uh, and then it basically had the same story, even though it was trying not to. It basically was the same exact movie, but rated PG-13. You know that scene I always make fun of with the hand exploding and he's just on his knees going. They don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
It's the car just explodes and that's it. Uh, but the one scene that was so much creepier than the original movie that I really liked was when he asks how much of me is still human and how much of me is a robot. So they start taking parts of him off, or it's like the Iron Man device. You know how it puts all the pieces on Robert Downey Jr. and he's all set to go.
Yeah.
This is basically the same kind of device. It's just instead of suit, it's actual parts of the robot. So it starts from the bottom up, and it keeps taking parts off, and then you're waiting for it to just stop and be like, okay, this much of you is human, and it keeps on going, and basically the only thing in him that's a human is his right hand, which is awkward. It's just hanging there in the corner. It's a little stand for it. The hand's just sitting there, all limp. And then it's his lungs that are in a clear, kind of glass-looking case.
Spoilers, by the way.
His heart. Spoilers. If you don't know what RoboCop is, come on. Anyway, so his heart, his lungs, his brain, and his face. That's it, basically. And it's creepy because you see him react to what he's seeing. He's like, "Oh my God, you left nothing of me," and they're like, "Oh well, everything else was damaged." But basically, the whole movie followed the original movie almost step by step, to the point. Spoilers, if you don't want to know about RoboCop, don't listen for a good 30 seconds. And it's the same ending where the bad guy has the wristband that says, "Oh, you can't kill me because I have the wristband on," but he kills him anyway, and then that's it. But one thing that was kind of annoying is, not annoying, but there's no blood or anything, so you're just like, okay. It makes the other RoboCop seem such a more mature movie than this one. This seemed kind of a kid's movie, almost.
I like the original one because of just the wanton destruction and the random people blowing up with
this doesn't have that. And they did the same thing they did with Samurai Jack. That's the name of the cartoon, right?
Yeah.
Where, in order to justify killing, they just had a bunch of robots. So RoboCop will be killing robots and not humans. So you're like, oh, that's justified. Actually, he kills people, but bad guys. But for most of the movie, he's killing robots. So, which is what they did in Samurai Jack, since it was a cartoon. Instead of Samurai Jack killing people, he killed robots. So it was okay, even though they looked just like humans.
Alright, so did you read that link about Batman versus Superman?
I did. Did you see the picture?
Yes, I did.
I do like that picture.
Now, he made it black and white. There will be a link in the show notes as well. So I guess they released a picture of Ben Affleck as Batman in the upcoming Batman versus Superman movie. I'm not sure if it's going to be versus or Batman and Superman.
I think
they're probably going to like fight a little bit.
If they keep it close to what looking at the suit, it is very, very close to The Dark Knight Returns. And going with that storyline, Batman and Superman do fight. And now I'm looking at the suit again just now, and I noticed something that this suit has that almost none of the other suits have had before. This seems like a flexible material kind of a suit. Till now, all Batman suits have been hard plastic with the muscles in it, basically.
Yeah.
The guys didn't have to really exercise to get to that point. But this seems like the Superman suit, which is skin tight, and it's kind of flexible material where it's not just a plastic muscle suit. So I do like that, and I do like the fact that the bat ears, for lack of a better term, I'll call it bat ears, they're pretty short and distant from each other. So again, very
I don't
close
know.
to.
This reminded me of the 1960s Batman.
I know, but
little ears and the eyebrows, you know.
ignore that and go look back at any drawing from Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Returns, which is very badass. And from a picture I saw online, I believe they might go with the white-eyed Batman. You know how in the cartoons he has the white eyes? I think they might go with that.
I hope not.
It looks better than the makeup eye. I mean...
Yeah, he's just wearing, like, eye mascara all around, and then magically comes off when he takes his mask off.
Yeah, which reminds me about two things that I find funny. In Dark Knight Rises, when Bane beats his face and takes the mask off, you will not see his face. They will shoot him from any angle for you not to see his face, because he's going to have the raccoon makeup going on. And in Batman Returns, I believe, if that's the second one with
Yep, it's Returns.
Danny DeVito, there's a scene where he takes the mask off with Michelle Pfeiffer. He's talking to Michelle Pfeiffer. He takes the mask off, and he's talking to her the entire time. He has black eyeshadow around his eyes. The moment he goes to grab it, you can tell that's when they redid the shot. You can see his eyes, and it looks so weird. It's such a weird look to see Batman and see like actual human color eyes. And then the part that bothers me about that scene is he just rips that mask off like it's made out of warm cheese, just right off. Yeah, I've been shot at, and this thing is safe, but the moment I just pull on it, it's just done. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I'm getting a little annoyed here. Let's keep going.
All right, so next up in app section, this is new, or I guess it's new. I don't know if you had any apps to add to it, but first thing is Google Camera, which was rumored to be, to give a brief history, I guess, a lot of apps that have come out that have been built into Android over years, Google has been releasing into the Play Store, so you basically don't have to wait for a new version of Android to come out, so you can get an update to one little app like Gmail or the camera or calendar. Pretty much half of the apps built in now are on the Play Store, and meaning Google can update those anytime. Motorola's actually been taking the same approach as well, which is I really like their camera. Their voice actions for the Moto X, those are all in the Play Store, so you don't have to wait 6 months just to get a tiny feature update. So Google Camera finally changed the... What?
What?
So I just started hearing the podcast in another window, that's why I just responded like that.
Oh.
I started at the warm cheese part.
Yeah. She's sitting there calmly talking about apps, and all of a sudden, warm cheese.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's weird.
So I really like it, and the Google Camera. They add a new feature called Lens Blur. Now, actually, the M8, the HTC M8 and the Galaxy S5 both add features that have like a depth perception, so you can take a picture of something up close and then blur the background or choose which one you want actually in focus. And up until that, we thought, like the HTC, it has two cameras. We thought that it was there specially for that. And then Google goes and releases the camera app that can do that just the same way. So now you can also do the photosphere pictures that was previously only available on the Nexus devices, only Google's devices. Now anybody basically with the latest version of Android can do that, which is really cool because it's nice taking a complete picture of your surroundings. So that's that. And one little app which I like for Android, I know you have an Android phone sitting around.
Yes.
It's called
My
Google Opinion.
personal phone is an Android. My business phone is an Apple iPhone.
See, my Play phone is an iPhone.
Well, I use my business phone more than I use my personal.
So Google Opinion Rewards, which is a little nice app. Basically, Google will send a survey to you maybe once every few days. You can get 12 cents, 50 cents, sometimes even $1 in Google Play credit for just answering a whole bunch of different types of survey questions. Sometimes it'll be 3 questions, sometimes it'll be 1, like what kind of car do you think you're going to be buying in the next 3 years? And you just type in, I don't know, Honda, and they'll give you 12 cents. So that can start building up. Up until recently, I built up $14 worth of Google Play credit, so I could buy a show or whatever.
Yeah, but do you end up getting emails and...
Nope.
Okay.
Because nothing's personal. They're not saying, hey, this is a survey for, I don't know, GE or Bing. I've been actually getting a lot of Bing emails. Really annoying.
Mm.
Yeah, it's Google really just trying to data mine you and trying to get all this information, but it's not really specific. So definitely an app you should go and install in your spare time. Just leave it on there. You'll get a notification once in a while. New survey available. Take it, get a few cents, get $1 sometimes. And then you can buy the app you've been wanting to get, but just didn't feel like dropping $2 for. And the last thing is a game called Smash Hit. It came out of a while ago, a few months ago. I just picked it up again because I just bought the Pro version. So you can, it's basically you're going straight down a tunnel, and you're just basically launching these pinball balls at various glass objects. If you hit like diamonds, you get 2 more, 3 more, 5 more. But then you'll see like a glass pane come up right in front of you. You have to break it enough so you can go through. And it just takes a lot of coordination. It's just really addictive. So buy the Pro version. It actually lets you restart at the checkpoints versus doing a Mario style where you have to start from the complete beginning. And yeah, if you do, add me in Google Plus so you can see my score, since Google Plus basically has like a game center too.
Okay, I have an app to add to that. It's called DietBet. We started using this at work. Me and 2 girls who work at my company have started it. And basically what it is, in order to be part of it, you have to pay $25. So each person pays $25, and then you weigh in once a week for 10 weeks. And whoever loses the highest percentage of weight, it's not who loses the most weight, it's who loses the most percentage of weight, so it's fair, and wins the whole bunch of money. So for us, it will be $75. So whoever wins $75. If you do it with a bunch of people, it's $25 each, and if there's 10 of you, $250 you can win. So that's what we're using now. The one thing about it is it's very hard to cheat it. You have to take a picture of you standing on the scale with a word that they give you written next to the scale, and then a full body picture of yourself in the mirror, like basically a selfie in the mirror with your whole body, and that's how you put in your weight. It won't let you to plug in your weight unless you have those 2 pictures. So at the moment, I am not winning.
So it's peer pressure, and it's forcing you to basically...
It's not peer pressure. Don't make it negative. It's just telling you, hey, you want to lose weight? You can win money to lose weight. You want to do it? Go ahead. If not, you're gonna lose $25. If you win, you gain another 50 on top of your 25.
Something unfortunate might happen.
You're not. I'm not money hungry, I'm not gonna go kill myself and be like, oh, I died for $50. That's just, It's a good, healthy way to lose weight, especially for companies. I know a lot of companies have weight loss games and things where everyone weighs. You go against another company, and then the winner company, I don't know, gets gifts or something. It's a good office uh, app to stay healthy, especially in my office where we repeatedly talk each other into getting unhealthy food. Now we're trying to talk each other into eating healthy and exercise.
Well, that's good for you.
Whatever.
No, yeah, that's a good idea.
Not everyone's skinny like you and has the ability to eat ton after ton of food and not gain too much weight. I can drink water and gain as much weight as well. Everyone's going to gain weight from drinking water, from absorbing it, but I can gain any calorie that is in the water. I burn nothing. I save everything. This is gonna sound racist. I know I'm Persian, but I'm like a camel when it comes to. I just absorb it all. It's not racist. It's my own race. God damn it.
Anyway, I crossed out a few things off our list.
Yeah. Because we kind of talked about it already.
Yeah, a little redundant. Don't need that. So I guess we can skip the last one.
Okay.
And then we'll wrap it up.
Okay. I was going to. I'm the cook in our family. Well, by family, I mean my wife and I.
And your dog.
And the puppy. I should have the puppy come over soon. She's downstairs. But I cook our meals, most of them, and my wife's the baker / the one who keeps me from destroying the house, and cleans it. I do nothing at the house. I just cook, basically. That's all I do at the house. Anyway, I was going to give a little. I was going to give up a little secret that I read in a book written by Anthony Bourdain called Kitchen Confidentials.
I have that book.
It's a really good book, especially for me. Before I got my engineering degree and worked as an engineer, I was a waiter at a bunch of country clubs. And the way this book describes the relationship between the waiters, bussers, cooks, chef, and the manager, all of them basically talks about everything behind the scenes in the restaurant. At points I got teary-eyed because it was so close, and talking about the relationships you build and everything, and how crazy people who work in kitchens. The craziest people I've ever met have been in kitchens, cooks, crazy people. But one thing that he says in one of the chapters, he said, if you try to cook like a restaurant and you can't get to that point, it's only because of one trick: butter. If you want to make anything taste good, add tons of butter to it. There's a YouTube channel that I follow, get a bunch of my recipes from, called Food Wishes, and I got my mashed potato recipe from there, where I made it for Easter for Sarah's family, and they said it was delicious. The ratio of butter to potato is 3:1. So for every 3 pounds of butter, you add a pound. 3 pounds of potato, you add a pound of butter. I had 6 pounds of potatoes and 2 pounds of butter. While I'm mixing it, I was staring at it. Sarah's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "I don't think this is right. This smells like butter. This just smells like it." And then after I made it, I let it sit and then served it for Easter. It was the most delicious mashed potatoes I've ever had. It was so good. And I have here on my notes written as written here. This is the perfect omelet. I made the perfect omelet, and I also got that recipe online. It was an Gordon Ramsay recipe. If you want to make an omelet, nice and fluffy and delicious, grab a spoon, big spoon, scoop out a whole spoon of butter, throw it on the pan, and then make your omelet. It comes out delicious. You will probably die by the age of 60 with these recipes, but
45.
hey, if you want to cook like how they cook in restaurants, anything they cook, there's butter on it. That's why if you make a steak and you don't think it's as delicious as a steakhouse, it's because they pour butter on it. For Thanksgiving, I made turkey. And not only you put butter around it, you actually put your hand between the skin and the meat and separate it and shove butter in there.
Yeah.
It's delicious. It was the most delicious turkey I've ever had. Not to tap myself on the shoulder. I mean, what am I saying? Tap myself on the shoulder. Not to toot my own horn, but it was the best turkey I've ever had. I'm just gonna say it. Anyway, I think that was an hour.
Yeah, we are just. It was 47 minutes when I checked like 5 minutes ago.
We're good. Sorry about the fact that this episode is a bit late. We would like to have it out on Fridays, but your beautiful wife was busy with her whatchamacallit, the lifting.
Powerlifting.
Yeah, powerlifting meet.
Hopefully, we'll have her on a future episode so we can actually talk about powerlifting and, again, mix it a little bit.
And I also want to give a little teaser to the next episode. I am planning on talking a little bit about engineering and different types of engineering and engineers and how similar but how completely different each branch of engineering is.
All right. So you can find me on Google Plus at Andrew Thompson 117, on Twitter at Kid Cuda, CIDCUDA, KIDCUDA, because I can't spell my own handle. And I think that's it for me. You don't use Twitter.
I do, but I don't post stuff. I just read news and technology stuff.
And you can also find me on my blog.
Depending on how many viewers we get, I might start, but at the moment, I'm not a big. I like to talk, but I don't like to share too much information.
Well, hopefully you'll be doing some blog posts too. So
yes. Oh, you're gonna love my writing.
So the blog is at the-backburner.com. I try to update it, but well, it's updated when it's updated. I don't keep to a schedule, so there. And you can find Nima somewhere on Google Plus. He doesn't use that either.
I use it. Screw you! I use it. Don't tell people I don't use it. I do use Google Plus. I do use Twitter. I do use Facebook. It's just I don't really post too much stuff. I'm there to creep on people.
You can email him.
You can email me.
Maybe he'll respond.
At Alizadeh. Oh God, no. Hold on. ALIZADEHNIM@gmail.com. That's my last name. Nima Alizadeh. AlizaDehnim@gmail.com.
And best way you can reach me is through Hangouts, because I love Hangouts and I'm always on there. Chat Hangouts, not video. So don't start a video hangout with me. And I believe that's it. So everybody have a good night.
Hey, good night, everybody.